Hey guys, welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Thanks for tuning in. New video format continues. We'll see how it goes here. So far, so good. So I want to get into it right away. I have a lot to talk about here. First of all, it's Mini-Lobster season coming up here this week. Just a reminder, be safe. Now, I have seen some crazy shit over the course of my years at Tavernier Creek Marina. And one thing I want to tell you guys is that getting killed is the real deal. So be careful, okay? I have seen some ugly stuff at the dock. So please make sure that the biggest thing I'm seeing right now, safety-wise, are the throttles, okay? And they're very sensitive. Now you can tighten the throttle up a little bit, and that's what you can do with your mechanics and stuff. But if you're leaving your engines on, make sure that your people are aware that you're not to bump into the throttles. Keep them away from it. So reason why I have seen over the course of my years at Tavernier Creek Marina, people come in, get offloaded to the dock and med flighted out because they were cut up. And some of it was like really an eye opener for myself. So I still remember seeing my first, I don't want to be a downer here, but I still remember my first dead body that got rolled up on Tavernier Creek Marina and it was during Mini-Lobster season. So be careful out there, please. It's going to be rough this week. We've got a high pressure system that's out there. And if you're new to Mini-Lobster season and you're renting a boat, make sure that you have all your shit together. So I want to give you guys some nuggets about finding some lobsters. We're going to start here today here. So I'm going to do a little shared screen, and for you guys renting boats out of Tavernier Creek Marina, I'll show you guys some good little holes that you can try for lobsters. So I'm gonna. It's very easy to find lobsters, really. If you're coming down here, the best thing for you to do is just get a Navionics chart on your, get a Navionics app on your phone, and then pull it up, and then look for the little rocks and stuff. And so let's I'll show you what to look for. So it's just very easy. Now you have to get out there. You have to camp out in the dark, really, to get on the spots first, because that's what people do. They're out there, they're leaving, and they're going out there, they're sitting, they're waiting till first light before they can dive. So just know that, okay? So that's, if you're new to that, then that's one thing you do have to do is get your ass out of bed. So if you find a good spot on the map that you want to dive, you have to go out there in the dark, you have to sit on it and wait to get going on it. That's how it works. So let's do a share screen here. And I'll show you what to look for. There we go. Okay, so I've got the Navionics up here, and this is an area called the Rocks, okay? This is a great little place that you can take your kids fishing down here if it's rough this week. There you catch lots of little mangrove snappers in there. You'll find some legal ones in there, but this area here, it's on this little area here, it's outside of Tavernier Creek Marina. So if you are coming out of Tavernier, so this is Tavernier Creek Marina, and this right here, Tavernier, right there. Okay, so you come out of Tavernier Creek Marina, you got your little handheld Navionics, and then you go down this little area called the Rocks. And what you're looking for are these big boulders right here. Okay, all this here is good lobstering. Okay, there's lots of stuff here, and people have even been like, it's so funny is I'm looking at these Navionics charts, and people have like left fishing spots on here, left their lobster spots on here through the communities. So that's another reason why you guys should be really careful about, like, if you're taking guests with you and they mark an area and they don't know how to use their Navionics, they're putting it on public out there for everybody. I was absolutely shocked when I seen what was marked on the Navionics. So just saying, okay? But you'll find all these little numbers here. You got, that's a little lobster spot. Now, what you can do, another one, is you just come out, you look, And then you go down the Tavernier. You got all this right here. It's all good. It's all lobster there. Got these little ledges like right here. It's really good. Oh, see, somebody left a number there. That's not mine. It's like that's in the. I'm like, man. So if you're a captain, I would highly suggest that you look and see what's out there. So you understand what's there and why you should be protecting and really coming down on folks about Navionics. Not because of them, it's because of what's happening. And they're putting it in public forums. Okay. So FYI, because there's some crazy shit that I've seen on this stuff, and you'll be surprised. So anyway, so let's come in here and you'll see you got somebody left somebody caught some barracuda there. Who knows? So you're looking, you're going around, you're looking for these little just all these little rocks in here. So anyway, so that'll give you a little heads up on how to do some lobster fishing. You go down by alligator down here. Just it's a no-brainer. So you don't need to have like all you need is your Navionics app to find your lobster spots. That's it. So, but you need like if you're like very new to it and you see some prominent areas that you want to go to, you need to go out there and you need to camp. You need to get your asses out of bed. You need to go out there and you need to anchor on top of them because there's probably going to be somebody there anchored up there too. So just know that. Okay. So those are great areas. There are a ton of lobsters out there, a ton right now. So just be safe. Be careful of that throttle, please. I like if it's so. One thing I want to know is like I've seen somebody gaffing a fish and a guy falling into it and throwing the guy out. What happens is they'll want to walk backwards and they'll want to take a picture or they're like trying to get that right angle or they're trying to get out of the sun. So one thing you can do is put your throttle in a safety mode as well, and that should be on there. And if you're renting a boat, you need to ask the your boat rental attendant, where's the safety mode on the throttle? How do you keep it from like it accidental? So you can if you're keeping your engines running, make sure that it's in a safety zone, or you have something there that hey, this is off limits, stay out of there. And if somebody keeps coming back to it, you got to say, hey, this is the rules. So anyways, I just want you guys to be safe because I want to be honest with you guys. I've seen some really bad accidents over the course of the years over many season, and I've seen some dead folks. So once you see people get rolled up onto the dock, it really hits home. It really hits home. So anyhow, that's the reality of it. Don't be diving under Tavernier Creek Bridge. And the worst thing that I've seen, like that's crazy, with mini season was a guy was like, this is the craziest shit. It was mini season, okay? And I am like coming back home and I had a guy, he was looking for lobsters in front of me. We are right in the middle of the channel. And the guy is in the front, and the guy literally bolts out of the back of his boat at full speed. And while I was running behind him. Okay. And I guess there's some crazy TikTok challenge about this shit, but this happened like well before TikTok. And I don't know how I missed the guy, but I did, thankfully, because he was almost like done. And we were in Tavernier Creek Channel running home, and there was lines of boats, and this guy bolted out of the back of his boat. And I swerved and I almost put my boat up on the shallow area, and it scared the living shit out of me. I've seen some crazy shit in the creek. I had a guy one time, he decided he was going to put a guy in water skis in Tavernier Creek, and he slid him around the blind channel. He was like in the slow no wake. It was like I've seen some nutty stuff in there. So just be cautious. Don't do anything stupid and enjoy it because it's a great tradition for the Florida Keys, and everybody can go out there and have a good time, but just be safe. So don't be a statistic. And I'm not trying to be in like a weirdo about it, man. I'm just saying, I've seen this shit personally. I've seen the blood, I've seen the guts, and I've seen the dead bodies. So, okay. Guys, I am super stoked because we are getting ready to launch the new Wahoo Mastery course, and it is different. And I'm so excited about it. So excited. I want to share it with you here really quick. And I'll give you a brief overview of it because we are getting ready to get in. I'm gonna like share some stuff and this is next level. Okay, next level. And the guys that have been in my courses know that what I've shared is really good. And that was nothing. I didn't even scratch the surface with it. So I'm going to pull it up here. So what we'll do is, so how to find my courses, okay? Here's how to find my courses. Really quick here. So we go to goodkarmafishingtackle.com, okay? And then what you'll do is you'll come down here to seminars and courses. Oh, before I jump into there, if you guys wanted, like the pinfish are really working very well right now. So if you come into here, this is the commercial pinfish trap that you want to buy. It's the absolute best. It catches the shit out of them. You don't want a really big one. This one is like, this Joy pinfish trap is really good. So I've got it in here in my store, but you can purchase it wherever, but this is where it's at. I just wanted to let you guys know that little nugget. They're eating the shit out of pinfish right now. So let's and they're kind of picky. The muttons are, but a little bit, but not really. I don't know. It just depends where you're at. Okay, so I come in here and we go to how to catch wahoo consistently is the name of the course. The game changer. It's a game changer. The cost of the course is $125. Now, what's different about this course, okay, is that along the way, I'm going to be taking your questions, okay? And those questions are going to be threaded in and baked in to the course, okay? So the course kicks off with lesson 1 the week of August 5th. Lessons 2 and 3 will be released at the end of August, mid-September, and by the mid-September. So we're going to get you guys ready and walk you guys through August to September, okay? And along the way, I'm going to be sharing some stuff. Let's just say. Okay. So the early bird price is 125. Pricing is going to go up to 175 once the lesson is released. And then once we get the payment, you're going to get a Google document, okay? And then you're going to submit your initial questions with a deadline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake those in, okay? I'm going to bake those into the course. And then we're going to, the courses are pre-recorded. And then, so in other words, you're going to get, like, if you got some pressing questions you want to make sure that get into that, that you want answered, and then I'm going to bake those questions into the lesson for you. If I feel they can, that I can, like, if it applies. So there, just keep that in mind. So depending on when you sign up for the course, there may be some a fluctuation to when the questions are answered and so forth. So why should you buy it? Trust me, you're going to want to get it. So you can go through all this, but you can read it. But one thing I do have to say is that the nature of wahoo fishing is changing. Okay, everybody and their brother now is out there dragging planers, dragging nomads. Things are changing. There's lots of YouTube videos out there. You can try to sort through those things, and I have to tell you what, there's a lot of high-speed stuff. Okay, and there's a time and place for that. But what we're specifically going to go over are slow trolling techniques. And when I say slow trolling, that's between 5 miles an hour and out to 10 to 12. Okay. And then we're going to add in live bait. And that's something that I have not talked about and I'm going to share what I actually use. I'm gonna walk you along the way of what I'm doing with my boat as well, to effectively to dial in more. So there's going to be a lot to it. We're going to go through downriggers, and there's going to be on the water videos with the downriggers techniques. I'm going to show you something I have not showed that I use with the downriggers, not just the 15-pound lead. That's actually works a little bit better than the 15-pound lead. And then I'm going to show you some planer fishing, and then some other removable inlines, some stuff that I'm working on with somebody as far as some inline stuff, uh, removable inlines, different stuff to make your life so much easier. It does not have to be complicated. And there's just so much out there with like all this garbage stuff, like taglines and like, man, I'm gonna like, here's the deal. When you know where the fish are at, and that's something I'm gonna teach you, then you don't need all that shit. Okay. How many Wahoo are you gonna catch? This isn't gonna be Bahamas Wahoo. It's very spot orientated. It's like, there's a lot to it. To catch Wahoo effectively, you gotta know where they sleep and where they're at, when they migrate, what they're going to eat, high speed versus slow speed, when the change. There's a whole bunch, there's a whole lot more to it. And what's so awesome is we're going to be looking at Seymour, Navionics, and I'm going to share my SatFish secrets. Okay. I'm going to teach you some like little tricks to a SatFish on finding them. So there's going to be a whole lot to it. And so I'm very excited. So that's all I got on that. If you guys, I encourage you to get signed up, and it's available now. The early bird is, and yeah, all good. So let's dive into the next topic here. And I had some questions about line again, line. Oh my gosh. So, and coloring and fluorocarbon, and I think I think like COVID, like it did something. Like, I mean, it really put people in front of the computer, and they really like, some people just lost their way. Okay. And they started getting blinded by all these, like, what do fish see under the water? What do they see? Oh my God, what's the breaking strength of this line? What's the best knot? Listen, okay, I'm going to explain how I do it and how I've always done it. Is my thing with line is I choose line based on the bait fish. Okay, this is something that my dad taught me when it came to like fishing years ago, and it gets passed on, and I'm going to show you, I'm just going to tell you guys. Okay, fish change colors based on, like, bait fish change colors based on the watercolor that they're in. Okay, so, and they have heaven and hell, I call it. You got the contrast, heaven and hell. You've got the heaven color on the top, and the hell color on the bottom. Okay, because like, you're more than likely to get coming up from the hell than you are to get struck down from above. So it's heaven and hell, man. Poor bait fish. So here's my thing, is that I like to use, like, for like, your line is like, you have to match what the belly of the bait fish is. Okay, the belly of the bait fish is a whitish gray. It's camouflaged from the bottom when you look up. Okay, and then when you're in like greenish water, the fish turns a little green. And then, like, yeah, if you really want to dig into it, then you're like, okay, then you're looking at more green color to like hide your line. And then up above, you're looking at more grayish blue to hide. My favorite, like, I like what I use on all my bottom rods, and I've been doing it for years. And all my Wahoo rods, I use braided line. I use the Suffix blue camo. It's when you hold that in the water and you look up, it matches really nice. So, and I use white braid. I've been doing it for many, many years, and whether it makes a difference, I don't know. But I'm just telling you guys, you got to have the principles of heaven and hell. Okay, and when the water's really clean, think of it like bait fish. Okay, so when a bait fish reflects and turns different directions like this, light refracts differently on the scales. It happens with fluorocarbon line. Light turns and twists and does all this stuff. And depending on, like, if it's dark out, it'll contrast more of a shadow. It also depends on what area of the water column you're fishing. There's just so much to it. But so, and then you're also looking at like pink fluorocarbon versus clear fluorocarbon. Honestly, I've been doing some testing. I just, like, now I'm gathering testing for that for another project that I'm working on. So I would say right now I had one day where it was all clear and the water was gin clear, and I don't know. I don't think I just think it might have been the angle where I was sitting. It might have been, I don't know, there's so many different variables. I don't have enough data, but really I've been using pink for a long time, and it just depends on the day. My biggest thing is like I tell people, don't get caught up on it. Don't get caught up on this shit. Be your own fisherman. Look at things like this. Hey, go out there, and if you look at it like the heaven and hell, then you're good. Okay, you're good. Always know that heavy pressured areas, you want the lightest possible fluorocarbon that you can get. Mono stands out. It does. I don't care what anybody says, stands out. Shitty bottom fisherman stuff. I'm sorry. It's just, ugh, it's yucky. So, and then, yeah, anyhow, heaven and hell match. Just think of a bait fish, okay? When a bait, like dark days, the contrast, bad for a bait fish. It's really bad for a bait fish, especially with a fish like a wahoo. He can see so much when it's dark. That fish has like amazing eyesight when it's dark out, and he can really zone in on those bait fish. But when it's bright and sunny, that bait fish can really camouflage himself with the whites and the blues. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, that's how I look at all my line. Heaven and hell, baby. So, uh, whites and blues, grays for camo, and then on the bottom it's 100%. All I use is fluoro, man. I like, you can watch 1,000 YouTube videos, or you can just go back through and look at see what I'm catching, and that'll with mutton snappers, and then you can make your own decision. So, and groupers as well. Groupers are weird. So groupers can be little. Groupers are like, people are saying, they're not line shy. Yeah. Okay, they're not line shy. Anyways, so I just wanted to mention that to you guys here with this. So next topic, I want to also too before I move on with the BKK hooks, they have that glow hook, and one thing about hooks is that one thing I really like about that hook, it just blends into the belly of the bait. Now everybody says it doesn't, only if it sits in the sun does it glow, and you really got to hit it to get it to glow. But otherwise, it's just a white hook under the water, so with white paint, and the paint does hold up very well. Those are great hooks. Now they are a little pricey, and if you feel that that's, I like to try new shit, so that's why I tried them. They're a great hook, but one hook that you do want to look at by BKK is the competition hooks. Amazing hook for the price. Okay, you can buy 100 of those things and they'll last you forever, and they are a great hook for billfish. I've been catching muttons with them. I've been trying those. They've got a wide gap, and I like that. They're an inline hook. Okay, and you can use that as far as a hook for a dolphin, and as far as a hook for sails. Man, that hook is badass. One hook that I want you guys to look at that's really going to help you. Now, I am not sponsored by BKK, and I've probably done a hell of a lot for them, and I don't really care, to be honest with you, because I want to help you guys. That's it. So, It's all about you guys and giving you guys a few extra nuggets to help you guys. So, okay, now let's move into the the dolphin fishing report. There were a shitload of dolphin out there today. And I saw dolphin out to, like, when I was out there over the past few days, there were dolphin cruising, even like with no debris. We had I was spot locked out there, and that's one thing about spot locking in like 150 to 175 feet. It's when you're fishing that deep for mutton snappers and groupers and stuff, I had debris float by, and then the dolphin pulled off on the debris into my while I was anchored, and we were catching them that way. So which was a lot of fun. But I didn't go offshore this week. It was a little bumpy. We've got this crazy high pressure system it's like gotten big. But one thing about that thing, it's like it's keeping the storms away, and we've got that Saharan dust moving across, but it's keeping the ocean, our surface temperatures are really nice actually. So I'm going to pull up the SatFish here, and we can dig into a little bit of that here really quick. And I can show you guys some spots, one thing too, now it's going to be a bumpy week. And if you're down here this week, that's the thing, is that it's going to be bumpy. Okay. So it's going to be bumpy. So you won't necessarily have to go out as far for these fish. Okay. So let's dig into a little bit of SatFish here before I wrap it up here today. What's so awesome is about SatFish is that, look at this. So I pulled up this is where all the great tuna fishing is happening up north. And what you've got is, when you look at that color change, like you look at that temperature break right now, you're going from 84 to 81 over these canyons out there. Can you imagine? I mean, that is just, when you see something like that, I guarantee you those guys are tearing that shit up there right now. So, but that's what you need to look for, obviously. So it's no, like when you get something overlays on a canyon or something like that, there you go, right there. So I guess there's been some upswellings up here. I want to show you some upswells here, and we've got that Wahoo fishing stuff that's going on in West Palm right now. So every year it happens in the summer. So let's go to the homepage here. But I wanted to show you that that's the type of stuff that you need to look for. So let's go to okay, so we're up here by Fort Pierce here area, and every year you'll get that up here by Stewart. Every year you'll get that upswell up there. So as you guys can see, you've got that 81-degree water temperature here. That's an upswell from what I have learned about it. So how you fish an upswell, how you fish that cold water, very slowly. Small pieces of bait tend to work if they're lethargic. And what you'll do is, like, if you're going to go offshore, then there you go. You go out and fish that temperature break. You got that hard break right there. You go from 84 to 81. That's a great break. So, but you can see it there. That water's fairly cold there. That's 81 right there. And you can see it gets colder up by Daytona. So so you're fishing upswells, they can be kind of tricky to fish, it kind of, you got to find that warm water. So you got to find the moving water. You want to use small pieces of bait. You want to slow it down. Their metabolisms get a little slower because that's the surface water. So yeah, I don't know what it is down deep, but I imagine it's rather chilly. So let's go back to the homepage here. And I'm just working my way down the coast. or working my way down here to the Keys. So we'll go, let's see. Yeah, let's use Miami here. Okay. So we'll go, I'm just going to do a cloud-free SST because it's been with the Saharan dust and all the and that stuff, it's been tough getting an image. So, but this is fairly accurate. So if you're looking to go Wahoo fishing and stuff, then up here West Palm and those areas, you can see that pocket of cool water up there. You know, that's kind of the areas that you should be like I would be looking for. Okay, is that stuff because that's where they're gonna like you're looking at 84 to 85. So you're looking more for that cooler water there. So you've got this warm water in here, but and you got a temperature break, and then you just go up a little further to the north, you can see these pockets of cooler water. And then you also have to look on your overlays to see where that stuff lines up at. Does it line up along a ledge? I've got a new blog out that I'll show you guys here again. I talk about the Seymour mapping versus Navionics and where not to fish. So, but let's come off of Flowery Rocks here. You've got some cooler water here at 85. You know, it probably starts out in the morning at 84. What I'm finding is that it warms up a degree probably by about noon if it's super hot. But we've had this high pressure system which has been keeping this water, you got a lot of easterly wind, so it's really keeping the water fairly cool. And you've got that Saharan dust, and that does have a lot to. And this is a large dust storm, larger than what we've seen in the past because we don't have an El Nino or a La Nina yet. They're saying that the La Nina is going to set in here pretty soon, so it'd be interesting. But you can see here these pockets of cooler water. We've got 85, 85, 85 out. So you could find fish like I'm finding fish like they're the smaller ones like are cruising in up and down the reef. So there's no like they're in close. So with that being said, you know, there's no boundaries. So we'll come down here to the elbow area here. You can see it starts getting a little warmer down here and up here, and you get that cooler water. So that's something to look at, especially if you're snapper fishing, if you're mutton snapper fishing, and that stuff. You're like along the reef edge, you know, like right through here, down here through like just like north of Molasses here. You can see where it gets a little cooler. That would be an area there up through along the reef that you should probably focus on. So that's the type of stuff I'm looking at with SatFish. And you can see the warm water in here. It's warm. It's a little green too, the green coloration. So now we'll move a little further to the south here. And there's a whole lot to this. So there's a whole lot to it. I'm just giving you guys a little overview here of some stuff that you can, you know, things you have to spend every day looking at this every day. And that's what I recommend. You have to spend the time and study it. So again, I'll go down. It's easiest to do the cloud free. And then this is great here. There were a lot of dolphin to the south today, like off of Duck Key. A lot, like a lot. So let's go down and see. So outside, depending on where everybody went, you know, you can see right here outside the east hump on that deeper water. You're looking for those pockets. See that pocket of cool water there? That's 84. It comes in. You got that nice. Last year, this is where I mean, I caught them out deep last year around this time. This week, we tore them up, and they were out deep. A lot of fish, a lot of fish. So if you're coming out of Duck Key, what you can do is you go over here to your route planner. That's 38 miles. That's a long ways. 34. But really, what you're kind of looking for is right through here. You can see these like right through there, right here. So I'm looking for those breaks. So now this shot was taken in the morning, or that it's cloud free here. See if I can get a good, see if I can see anything here. And this is the raw. Yeah, I like, and this is one thing you guys can look at too, um, when making your plan. You look at duck key, and then you're like, okay, boom, I like that. And get a better shot of that. 23 miles, you got that temperature break. It's breaking, you got all that right there. You can see pretty much get a good picture of where that cool and warm water is meeting at right there. So you got all those fingers and all that stuff, and it's just beautiful. So those are, then you got a pocket. So anyhow, so I can go through hours and explain the science behind this, but that's not going to happen today. So I've got several blogs available. You can for those that are wanting to learn. So I want you to go to I'll show you how to Good Karma Sportfishing.com. You go to my blogs. You'll get to see the new one here. Within the new one, I went over this last week. Somebody was asking, somebody made a comment on my Instagram was how many fish I catch in a day. I go, I'm breaking off this side because I see these. I'm like, listen, I had to stop posting my tables of fish and how many fish that I was posting because of it was like people couldn't handle it. So I had to stop. It's pretty sad, but anyway, so if you want to see what kind of shit that I catch, and you can go back and check. But just amazing some of the comments that I get. But miss these folks. Anyhow, so we'll come. That's why I don't post. I quit that. I don't need to, like, if you want to know what I'm catching, you can text me, but I'm not gonna probably gonna give you the full information. So if you want to know what's happening, you can sign up for one of my groups. And I can give you the insights of what's going on, what I'm doing at in as far as how I'm fishing, or and also to get signed up for my courses, and I'll then that way you can catch your own damn fish. Just kidding. So, and you will catch a lot of them because it was fun to get some of the emails that I got today from guys that have been signed up for my courses. And you should see the shit that they caught down in, it was from Key Largo to Marathon, and it's just badass to see. So I want to congratulate you guys. So you guys did amazing with simple stuff. Simple, easy bait. So, but here's the understanding each tool here. SatFish, analyze SatFish. You can, locate the structures. Now I have a couple of the one thing you can do is that if you're new to SatFish, I have a blog here, and it's a very lengthy blog. I really cover a lot. You can go back through, see some examples. And what's so fun about it is that you can see the correlations, okay, with that. So, and you can see all the stuff. And then I walk you through the dolphin migrations as well on in this blog. And this was from last summer at this time. Yeah, from August 2nd. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is from August 2nd. Okay, and I am 18 miles offshore, and we cleaned them up last year around August 2nd. We tore them up, and this was a hard temperature break here, and it went from, it was like last year the water temperatures were way warmer than like there were 3 degrees warmer last year than they are now. Okay, the water temperatures, like we forgot this high pressure system is keeping the water cooler. So last year, we'll see what it does here August 2nd, but it's coming up here pretty soon. It was last year the water temperature was 88 degrees and it went to 87. That was way offshore. It was 3 degrees warmer than like 2 degrees. It's 84, 85, 86, 87. It was warm, almost 4 degrees warmer last year at this time. And I documented it right here of what that water temperature was for myself. And I compared it to my GPS when I wrote this. So that tells you where I caught the fish. And I was out there ways 18, 20 miles, and we just kept finding them all the way out. And we even I went out a little deeper and found them. So those are some things I just wanted to share with you guys. And it's some great, for the guys that really, really, really want to like love like knowledge and just like sit down and reading about fishing. I'm getting ready to update my How Wahoo See Color blog to include some stuff as well from last year, and that's going to be here pretty soon. I'll update that. But that's really all I got for today. I'm super stoked about the new Wahoo course, and I'm cannot wait to get started on it. I've been working on it, and I get up super early in the morning before work. I work on it. I've been working on it every day. And days when I'm like, I get canceled or something, I'm working on it. So I'm like stoked for this course, stoked. So I cannot wait to show you guys some cool stuff. That includes a lot of stuff I can't share. So it's going to be fun. Anyways, if you want to book a charter then for August, let me know. We've got the new Minn Kota Quest Instinct. It's the brushless trolling motor. It's completely silent. You cannot hear it. It's built like a brick shit house. It's a pretty cool piece of equipment. I can't even compare it to anything like that I've had, including the past piece of equipment that I had on the boat as far as the trolling motor goes that I would never purchase again. But I'm like I cannot believe it. So I am not going to like say go out and buy it because I have no clue how it's going to do in the future. But I just want to say so far it's been pretty badass. So it literally, like the old one, what it does, it shifted you around, and it was like even like it's just like, oh, I can't even begin to say it. It's night and day difference. Not to mention it's got this battery saver thing on it. It's like you can go a long time with it. So, anyhow, that's all I got. Look forward to seeing you guys that are booking with me for here within the next couple weeks. So I have some availability. Give me a call, send me a text, 305-619-2126 as far as what we're doing for fishing. Yeah, we'll just see what's up. We'll see what's up. So as far as what's going to happen with the bite, you guys know. Guys that know. So you guys know what I'm going to be doing. If you want to book, then I let you know a couple days out what's going on with the fishing. And if you're new to my world, what happens is you book a trip, I let you know what's happening, and 3 to 4 days before the trip, I'm like letting you know what's going on with the weather, and I decide a departure time the closer that we get. And yeah, so I just don't take you out there and troll you around. And that's it. I'll tell you if the dolphin fishing is good and the weather's good, we can go dolphin fishing if you want. It just depends on how far out. If you really want to spend the time running out that far to catch dolphin. And we're also going to be doing some deep dropping. So I'm back into the deep dropping again. Super stoked for that, for queen snappers. And that's something that I'd really love to do that I haven't gotten to do in a few years because of the nature of what's been going on with the weather and the business and what the clients, the type of clients that either want to go deep dropping or they don't want to use electrics or whatever. So if you want a hand crank out there, that's totally up to you, but I'm not doing it for you. So, all right. Follow me at Good Karma Sport Fishing _FL _keys. You can we've got a podcast I did a podcast with Melinda, so make sure you check it out. And that launches here. It'll be on my channel as well. It's an awesome podcast. I love podcasting with Melinda, and it's a video one as well, our first one. So make sure you guys check it out. You might even get a few nuggets in there. So if you have not listened to Melinda and I's podcast, you guys are missing out. So, and I talk about fishing in there too. So, and you guys that are in there just to soak up knowledge and like try to figure out that one tip, and listen to Melinda's. So you'll learn. You might pick up on something, because I'm sure I dropped something in there too that I wasn't aware of. But yeah, that's it. Email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com, and then make sure you guys check out my blogs. And if you want to sign up for the SatFish, you can use code GoodKarma and get $20 off. There is a trial basis that you can do, and then yeah, it's worth it, man. It's all good, and you'll know why here once we dig into the Wahoo fishing and I start showing you some stuff. Then you'll know. So I'm going to share a little bit more as far as some learnings, but if you really want to get ahead of it, then jump in on the course. That's it. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good. Thank you, guys.